AD a top-5 player when healthy? Who are you summoning? Who are you
What kind of
summoning?
energy are you channeling? I need that.
Why would Darvin Ham say that? Anyway, no, he's not. I don't have KD AD as top 5. I don't have him far off, but I think if we're gonna go to the healthy conversation, y'all forgetting about that guy named Kawhi Leonard? And so for me, he's in my top 5, and that would put AD. This morning when I was doing this.
Yeah, who's your top 5?
All right, so Steph, Bron,
Wait,
Kate.
you're not doing it in order, huh?
No, that's not in order. It's not in order.
You don't want to have
clarify
that debate?
I'm sorry.
Different debate?
This is just the first 5.
First 5.
Steph, KD, LeBron,
Giannis,
Kawhi.
Okay.
Joel.
Is it? Yeah.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
my top 5, I have Steph, KD, Joel, Giannis, and LeBron. I have Joel Embiid top 5.
Okay.
Because my thing is you have to be available. The best ability is availability.
100%.
And for Kawhi, I mean, I know we're living in this hypothetical world of if healthy. Here's what happens with Anthony Davis, and I think what we're going to find out this year. And Kendrick Perkins was on the other day saying he thinks he's going to win MVP on NBA Countdown. I'm like, oh, Summer Haze, we really coming out here. We taking swings.
Vacation rotation.
I respect it. But I'm going to need him to play more than 45 games to be in that MVP conversation, which he's played under the last 2 seasons. But we get conflated with this argument, Monica, about is he a top 5 talent, right? Because nobody questions the talent of Anthony Davis. LeBron James even posting, he's gonna remind y'all this past summer, right, about all the things he brings to the table. But he just needs to be available. And one of my concerns is, as we're looking at all this footage of him working out, I'm hearing from my guy, Lethal Shooter, talking about how he's in the gym, he's grinding. I've never questioned whether AD works out or not. I've questioned about, is he working out differently than he has in years past to make sure that his body is durable for the kind of intensity that Darvin Ham is going to ask him to bring to the table in order for this team to be propelled to making the playoffs. That is my major concern. I think that's a concern we all have. But people are conflating, is he a top 5 talent with is he a top 5 player? It's hard to crack that top 5.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, mentality-wise. Cassidy, you cover basketball all the time. Same with you, Monica. Whose mentality do you trust more? Anthony Davis or Jimmy Butler's?
Jimmy Butler.
Well,
It's not even a hesitation.
I mean, but what are you, so like what point are you trying to make with that?
I'm just asking, like, would Jimmy Butler be closer to that top 5 conversation than Anthony Davis? Would you trust that with what you've seen the past 3 years from Jimmy Butler?
I think this top 5 discussion is always like, what have you done for me lately?
100%.
Right? And so to compare Jimmy Butler's Eastern Conference Finals run to Anthony Davis, who missed.
Okay, but let's try to strip that away. Let's try not to be solely recent, right? Let's go last 4 seasons. 3 seasons?
I mean, 3 seasons. They won a championship.
Right.
So that includes the bubble, which is the ceiling.
But Jimmy Butler met him in the championship game.
I'm not saying don't forget this past year, but let's try not to be solely this past season biased. I still think I would take Jimmy Butler.
I would take Jimmy Butler.
Because if we're going to go bubble, which was great for AD, tremendous, you have the privilege of running alongside a guy named LeBron James. In the conversation of AD and Jimmy Butler's always had to be A1. And if you are willing to separate regular season Jimmy, which I am, because playoff Jimmy is the Jimmy that matters, that's where guys want to be and are trying to build careers around getting those opportunities, I agree with you. It would be Jimmy.
So I get what the numbers say, and I get how special of a talent he is. And granted, look, I mean, we're picking pieces apart,
of course,
right? Like, we're talking about him being, I still think he's top 10 when he's healthy, when he's in, but top 5 for me is very, very hard to crack.
And
Luka Doncic is even a special player. Now, there's a lot of questions on him on the defensive end that I think hurt him in that category. I would have AD if he were healthy above that, but it's a different dynamic.
It's availability, like talent. Because you could talk about Kyrie Irving being in there as far as just his talent. One of the most talented ball handlers we've ever seen play the game.
Now, I was still willing, again, availability. I was still willing to give Kawhi that nudge because I just think what he's been able to do over his career is just that spectacular as the lead guy, particularly in Toronto. But to your point, if we got to it, Joel Embiid makes perfect sense when we start talking about availability.
What's so funny, like, this is kind of
good for him for being part of the available conversation.
Yeah,
right?
That's
Finally,
growth.
right?
That's big-time growth.
It is interesting, though, that this entire last season and this offseason, as much as we get on Anthony Davis, and I get the legacy of the brand of the Lakers, and I get that as LeBron is getting year 20 in the league, 37, still playing at the Drew League, dropping 40 plus points. Body looks incredible. Still considered top 5 in the game. 6 volumes of where they are.
Absolutely.
But the amount of attention that comes on AD and the lack thereof attention on Kawhi Leonard.
Heavy as
I don't see him leading shows.
Hold on.
I don't see that. And look, I have him as one of my favorites to win it next year if he were available. But like we're not. It's not. It doesn't seem like it carries the same weight for a guy that did win a championship in Toronto.
I think part of that is the market. Lakers, Clippers. It is what it is. The second part is I think there's less of a tease. When Kawhi is out, he's out, and so we're not talking about it. There's nothing to talk about.
I sat up on this show 4 years ago and had the most absurd debate with my co-host Max Kellerman on KJ and Max, right? About he said Kawhi was more clutch than Kobe Bryant. This is where we were with Kawhi Leonard. He was the best player in basketball. Now look, that take I think is erroneous.
It is
on a multiple level of accounts.
It is. Oh God.
Right? It's fine because the sample size was so small. But this is the level that we were talking about with Kawhi Leonard, and it just seems like it's dissipated. It seems like it's an afterthought.
Because he didn't play.
Yeah, but that's my thing. But all right, so how?
But are you punishing him for being
top 5 player?
I think it's a different conversation if we're talking about.
There always
some of
are.
the,
There's multiple levels.
I hear you.
Layers to this onion. But this is why we do these
I know
shows.
but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't feel like it carries the same kind of heat. Like
it doesn't, because he's not the same kind of superstar. He doesn't play in the same kind of markets. He doesn't say anything.
He plays in LA.
Come on, Jay, don't do that.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Out of all the teams in the West, who do you think is best suited to knock off the Warriors next season? If healthy.
Right now,
tell me it's
as
not
constructed, are we including KD to Phoenix?
No, KD ain't going no Phoenix.
We can't keep doing this.
I'm just
KD
saying.
to Phoenix,
Okay, fine.
Donovan to
I mean, yeah,
Miami.
if healthy, they seem like the team that should be it.
Today is the day we need to start
we can't sleep
picking up that weight.
That's why
Today's the day. I'm going to start it today on First Take. Knock that down. Mark it down. We're going to start picking up the heat.
What if he don't play till January?
For Ty Lue, Paul George, Reggie Jackson, John Wall talking about I'm going to be guarded by the third best player.
I'm here for the John Wall.
It's time. It's time, LA.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.